And as part of this month's BBC-wide celebration of Shakespeare's life and work, Shakespeare Retold, we present now a new production of one of Shakespeare's least-known plays, the first of the late plays, or romances, Pericles. It serves as an introduction to many of the great themes of this last phase in the playwright's career, notably the relationship between parents and children, the process of aging, the getting of wisdom, and the passage of time, as well as the grander themes of self-knowledge, forgiveness, and redemption. The play tells the story of Pericles, Prince of Tyre, Shakespeare's most classical adventurer, and the rise and fall in his fortunes over a 16-year odyssey. And the play is framed by the ghostly presence of the medieval poet John Gower, whose poem, Confessio Amantis, was the source for much of the story. He's played here by a contemporary poet, Benjamin Zephaniah.
To sing a song that old was sung, from ashes ancient Gower is come. If you, born in these latter times, when wits more ripe accept my rhymes, and that to hear an old man sing, may to your wishes pleasure bring, I life would wish, and that I might, waste it for you like taper light. This Antioch then, Antiochus the Great, built up this city for his chiefest seat, the fairest in all Syria. I tell you what mine authors say. This king unto him took a fair, who died and left a female heir, so buxom, blithe, and full of face, as heaven had lent her all his grace, with whom the father liking took, and her to incest did provoke. Bad child, worse father, to entice his own, to evil should be done by none. By custom what they did begin, was with long use accounted no sin. The beauty of this sinful dame made many princes thither frame, to seek her as a bedfellow, in marriage pleasure's playfellow. Which to prevent he made a law, to keep her still and men in awe, that whoso asked her for his wife, his riddle told not, lost his life.
Young Prince of Tyre, you have at large received the danger of the task you undertake.
I have, Antiochus, and with a soul emboldened with the glory of her praise, think death no hazard in this enterprise.
Music! Bring in our daughter, clothed like a bride fit for the embracements even of Jove himself. The Senate House of Planets all did sit in her their best perfections to knit.
See where she comes, apparelled like the spring, graces her subjects, and her thoughts the king of every virtue gives renown to men. Her face the book of praises, where is read nothing but curious pleasures, as from thence sorrow were ever raised, and testy wrath could never be her mild companion. You gods that made me man and sway in love, that have inflamed desire in my breast, to taste the fruit of yon celestial tree, or die in the adventure, be my helps, as I am son and servant to your will, to compass such a boundless happiness.
Prince Pericles,
that would be son to great Antiochus.
Before thee stands this fair Hesperides, with golden fruit, but dangerous to be touched, for death-like dragons here affright thee hard. Her heaven-like face enticeth thee to view her countless glory, which desert must gain, and which without desert, because thine eye presumes to reach, all the whole heap must die.
Antiochus, I thank thee, who hath taught my frail mortality to know itself. For death, remembered, should be like a mirror, who tells us life's but breath, to trust it, error. Thus ready for the way of life or death, I wait the sharpest blow, Antiochus.
Scorning advice, read the conclusion then, which read and not expounded, 'tis decreed, as those before thee, thou thyself shalt bleed.
Of all said yet, mayst thou prove prosperous. Of all said yet, I wish thee happiness.
Like a bold champion, I assume the lists, nor ask advice of any other thought but faithfulness and courage. I am no viper, yet I feed on mother's flesh, which did me breed. I sought a husband, in which labour I found that kindness in a father. He's father, son, and husband mild, I, mother, wife, and yet his child. How they may be, and yet in two, as you will live, resolve it you. Sharp physic is the last.
Prince Pericles, your time's expired. Either expound now, or receive your sentence.
Great King, few love to hear the sins they love to act. 'Twould braid yourself too near for me to tell it. Who has a book of all that monarchs do? He's more secure to keep it shut than shown. For, vice repeated, like the wandering wind blows dust in others' eyes to spread itself. And yet the end of all is bought thus dear. The breath is gone, and the sore eyes see clear. To stop the air would hurt them. The blind mole casts copped hills towards heaven to tell the earth is thronged by man's oppression, and the poor worm doth die for it. Kings are earth's gods. In vice their laws the will. And if Jove stray, who dare say Jove does ill? It is enough you know, and it is fit, what being more known, grows worse to smother it. All love the womb that their first being bred. Then give my tongue like leave to love my head.
Heaven, that I had thy head. He has found the meaning. But I will glose with him.
Young Prince of Tyre, though by the tenor of our strict edict your exposition misinterpreting, we might proceed to cancel of your days, yet hope, succeeding from so fair a tree as your fair self, doth tune us otherwise. 40 days longer we do respite you, if by which time our secret be undone, this mercy shows we'll joy in such a son. And until then your entertain shall be, as doth befit your worth and our degree. Come, daughter.
How courtesy would seem to cover sin, when what is done is like an hypocrite, the which is good in nothing but in sight. If it be true that I interpret false, then were it certain you are not so bad as with foul incest to abuse your soul. Antioch, farewell, for wisdom sees those men blush not, and actions blacker than the night will stew no course to keep them from the light. One sin I know, another doth provoke. Murder's as near to lust as flame to smoke. Poison and treason are the hands of sin, aye, and the targets to put off the shame. Then, lest my life be cropped to keep you clear, by flight I'll shun the danger which I fear.
He hath found the meaning, for the which we mean to have his head. He must not live to trumpet forth my infamy, nor tell the world Antiochus doth sin in such a loathed manner. And therefore instantly this prince must die, for by his fall my honour must keep high. Who attends us there?
Doth your highness call?
You are of our chamber, Taliot, and to your secrecy our mind partakes her private actions. For your faithfulness we will advance you. Behold, here's poison, and here's gold. We hate the Prince of Tyre, and thou must kill him. It fits thee not to ask the reason why. Because we bid it. Say, is it done?
My king, 'tis done.
My lord, Prince Pericles has fled.
Taliot, As thou wilt live, fly after, and like an arrow shot from a well-experienced archer hits the mark his eye doth level at, so thou never return unless thou say Prince Pericles is dead.
My lord, if I can get him within my pistol's length, I'll make him sure enough. So, farewell to your highness.
Taliart, adieu. Till Pericles be dead, my heart can lend no succour to my head.
Let none disturb us. Helicanus, why should this change of thoughts, the sad companion, dull-eyed melancholy, be my so used a guest, as not an hour in the day's glorious walk, or peaceful night, the tomb where grief should sleep, can breed me quiet?
Peace, peace, and give experience tongue. You do not well so to forget yourself, to waste your body here with pining sorrow, upon whose safety doth depend the lives and the prosperity of a whole kingdom. 'Tis ill in you to do it, and no less ill in your council not to contradict it. They do abuse the king that flatter him, for flattery is the bellows blows up sin. The thing the which is flattered but a spark, to which the wind gives heat and stronger glowing. Whereas reproof, obedient and in order, fits kings as they are men, for they may err. Prince, pardon me, or strike me if you please. I cannot be much lower than my knees.
Rise, prithee, rise. Sit down. Thou art no flatterer, I thank thee for it. And heaven forbid that kings should let their ears hear their faults hid. Fit counsellor and servant for a prince, who by thy wisdom makes a prince thy servant. What wouldst thou have me do?
To bear with patience such griefs as you do lay upon yourself.
Thou speakst like a physician, Helicanus, that ministers a potion unto me, that thou wouldst tremble to receive thyself. Attend me then. I went to Antioch, where, as thou knowest, against the face of death, I sought the purchase of a glorious beauty. Her face was to mine eye beyond all wonder. The rest, hearken thine ear, as black as incest, which by my knowledge found, the sinful father seemed not to strike, but smooth. But thou know'st this, 'tis time to fear when tyrant seems to kiss. Which fear so grew in me, I hither fled under the covering of a careful knight to Tyre, who seemed my good protector, and, being here, bethought me what was past, what might succeed. I knew him tyrannous, and tyrant's fears decrease not, but grow faster than the years. And should he doubt, as doubt no doubt he doth, that I should open to the listening air how many worthy princes' bloods were shed to keep his bed of blackness unlaid ope, to lot that doubt, he'll fill this land with arms, and make pretence of wrong that I have done him, when all for mine, if I may call offence, must feel war's blow, who spares not innocence, which love to all, of which thyself art one, who now reprovest me for't.
Alas, sir!
Drew sleep out of mine eyes, blood from my cheeks, musings into my mind with thousand doubts, how I might stop this tempest ere it came. And finding little comfort to relieve them, I thought it princely charity to grieve them.
Well, my lord, since you have given me leave to speak, freely will I speak. Antiochus you fear, and justly too I think you fear the tyrant, who either by public war or private treason will take away your life. Therefore, my lord, go travel for a while, to let his rage and anger be forgot, or destinies do cut his thread of life. Your rule direct to any. If to me, day serves not light more faithful than I'll be.
Tyre, I now look from thee then, and to Tarsus intend my travel, where I'll hear from thee, and by whose letters I'll dispose myself. The care I had and have of subjects good, on thee I lay, whose wisdom's strength can bear it. I'll take thy word for faith, not ask thine oath. Who shuns not to break one will sure crack both. But in our orbs we'll live so round and safe, that time of both this truth shall ne'er convince. Thou show'dst a subject's shine, I a true prince.
My Dionyza, shall we rest us here and by relating tales of others' griefs, see it will teach us to forget our own?
That were to blow at fire in hope to quench it. For who digs hills because they do aspire, throws down one mountain to cast up a higher.
This Tarsus o'er which I have the government, a city o'er whom plenty held full hand, for riches strewed herself even in the streets, whose towers bore heads so high they kissed the clouds, and strangers ne'er beheld but wondered at, whose men and dames so jetted and adorned like one another's glass to trim them by. Their tables were stored full to glad the sight, and not so much to feed on as delight. All poverty was scorned, and pride so great, the name of help grew odious to repeat.
Oh, 'tis too true.
But see what heaven can do by this our change. Those mouths who but of late earth, sea and air were all too little to content and please, although they gave their creatures in abundance, as houses are defiled for want of use, they are now starved for want of exercise. So sharp are hunger's teeth, that man and wife draw lots, who first shall die to lengthen life. Here weeping stands a lord, there lies a lady dying. How many sink? Yet those which see them fall have scarce strength left to give them burial. Is not this true?
Our cheeks and hollow eyes do witness it.
Oh, let those cities that of plenty's cup and their prosperity so largely taste with their superfluous rights heed these tears. The misery of Tarsus may be theirs.
Where's the Lord Governor?
Yeah. Speak out thy sorrows which thou bringst in haste, for comfort is too far for us to expect.
We have descried upon our neighbouring shore a portly sail of ships make hitherward.
I thought as much. One sorrow never comes but brings an heir that may succeed as its inheritor, and so in ours. Some neighbouring nation, taking advantage of our misery, has stuffed these hollow vessels with their power to beat us down, the which are down already, and make conquest of unhappy men. But there's no glory he's got to overcome.
And that's the least fear, for by the semblance of their white flags displayed, they bring us peace, and come to us as favourers, not as foes.
Thou speaks like hymns uncouth to repeat. Who makes the fairest show means most deceit. But bring they what they will, what need we fear? Our grave's the lowest, and we're halfway there. Welcome is peace, if he on peace consist. If wars, we are unable to resist.
Lord Governor, so we hear you are. Let not our ships and number of our men be like a beacon fired to amaze your eyes. We have heard your miseries as far as Tyre. Since entering your unshut gates, have seen the widowed desolation of your streets. Nor come we to add sorrow to your hearts, but to relieve them of their heavy load. And these our ships, you haply may think, are like the Trojan horse, was fraught within with bloody veins and porting overthrow, are stored with corn to make your needy bread, and give them life whom hunger starved half dead.
Oh, the gods protect you, and will pray for you.
Arise, I pray you, rise. We do not look for reverence, but for love, and harbourage for ourselves, our ships, and men.
The which, when any shall not gratify or pay you with unthankfulness in thought, be it our wives, our children, or ourselves, the curse of heaven and men succeed their evil. Till when, the which I hope shall never be seen, your grace is welcome to our town and us.
Which welcome we'll accept. Feast here a while, until our stars that frown lend us a smile.
Here, have you heard a mighty king his child a whist to incest bring? A better prince and benign lord prove awful both in deed and word. Be quiet then, as men should be, till he have passed necessity. I'll show you those in trouble's reign, losing a might, a mountain gain. Good Helicanus that stayed at home, not to eat honey like a drone from others' labours, keep good alive, and to fulfil his prince desire, sent word of all that haps in Tyre. How Tyre came full bent with sin, and hid intent to murder him, and that in Tarsus was not best, longer for him to make his rest. He deeming so put forth to seas, where when men been there seldom ease, for now the wind begins to blow, thunder above and deeps below, make such unquiet that the ship should house him safe, is wrecked and split. And he, good prince, having all lost, by waves from coast to coast is tossed, till fortune, tired with doing bad, threw him ashore to give him glad. And here he comes. What shall be next? Pardon, old Gower, this long the text.
Yet cease your ire, you angry stars of heaven. Wind, rain, and thunder, remember every man is but a substance that must yield to you, and I, as fits my nature, do obey you. Alas, the seas have cast me on the rocks, washed me from shore to shore, and left my breath nothing to think on but ensuing death. Let it suffice the greatness of your powers to have bereft a prince of all his fortunes, and having thrown him from your watery grave, here to have death in peace is all he'll crave.
What ho, Pilch! Huh? Come and bring away the nets!
Peace be at your labour, honest fisherman. You may see the sea hath cast upon your coast.
What a drunken knave was the sea to cast thee in our way?
A man whom both the waters and the wind in that vast tennis court hath made the ball for them to play upon, entreats you, pity him. He asks of you that never used to beg.
No, friend, cannot you beg? Here's them in our country gets more with begging than we can do with working.
Canst thou catch any fishes then?
I never practised it.
Nay then, thou wilt starve, sure. For here's nothing to be got nowadays unless thou canst fish for't.
What I have been, I have forgot to know. But what I am, want, teaches me to think on. A man thronged up with cold. My veins are chill, and have no more of life than may suffice to give my tongue that heat to ask your help. Which, if you shall refuse, when I am dead, for that I am a man, pray see me buried.
Die, quotha. Now, gods forbid it, and I have a gown here. Come, put it on. Keep thee warm. Now afore me, a handsome fella. Come, thou shalt go home, and we'll have flesh for holidays, fish for fasting days, and more old puddings and flapjacks, and thou shalt be welcome.
I thank you, sir.
Hark you, my friend. You said you could not beg.
I did but crave.
But crave?
Thine office, knave.
Go and draw up the other nets.
Hark you, sir. Do you know where ye are?
Not well.
Well, I'll tell you. This is called Pentapolis, and our king, the good Simonides.
The good Simonides, do you call him?
Aye, sir, and he deserves so to be called for his peaceable reign and good government.
He is a happy king, since from his subjects he gains the name of good by his government. How far is his court distant from this shore?
Marry, sir, half a day's journey. And I'll tell you, he hath a fair daughter, and tomorrow is her birthday, and there are princes and knights come from all parts of the world to joust and tourney for her love.
Were but my fortunes answerable to my desires, I could wish to make one there.
Oh, sir, things must be as they may, and what a man cannot get himself, he may lawfully deal for with his wife's soul.
Help, master! Help! Here's a fish hangs in the net like a poor man's right in the law. 'Twill hardly come out. Ha! Botsant, 'tis come at last, and 'tis turned to a rusty armour.
An armour, friends? I pray you let me see it. Thanks, Fortune. Yet after all thy crosses thou givest me somewhat to repair my losses. And though it was mine own, part of my heritage which my dead father did bequeath to me, it kept where I kept. I so dearly loved it till the rough seas that spares not any man took it in rage. Though calmed, hath given't again. I thank thee for't. My shipwreck now's no ill, since I have here my father gaven's will.
What mean you, sir?
To beg of you, kind friend, this coat of worth, and that you'd guide me to your sovereign's court, where, with it, I may appear a gentleman. And that if ever my low fortune's better, I'll pay your bounties. Till then, rest your debtor.
Why wilt thou tourney for the lady?
I'll show the virtue I have learned in arms.
Why d'ye take it, and the gods give thee good on't? Aye, but hark you, my friend. 'Twas we that made up this garment through the rough seams of the waters. There are certain condolements, certain veils. I hope, sir, if you thrive, you'll remember from whence you had this.
Believed I will. By your furtherance, I am clothed in steel. Only, my friend, I am yet unprovided of a pair of bases.
We'll sure provide. Thou shalt have my best gown to make thee a pair, and I'd bring thee to the court myself.
Then honour be but equal to my will. This day I'll rise, or else add ill to ill.
Are the knights ready to begin the triumph?
They are, my liege, and stay your coming to present themselves.
Return them, we are ready. And our daughter, in honour of whose birth these triumphs are, sits here like beauty's child, whom nature gat for men to see, and seeing, wonder at.
My lord.
It pleaseth you, my royal father, to express my commendations great, whose merits less.
'Tis now your honour, daughter, to entertain the labour of each knight in his device.
Which to preserve mine honour I'll perform.
Who is the first doth prefer himself?
A knight of Sparta, my renowned father, and the device he bears upon his shield is a black Ethiop reaching at the sun. The word lux tua vita mihi.
He loves you well that holds his life of you. Who is the second that presents himself?
A prince of Macedon, my royal father, and the device he bears upon his shield is an armed knight that's conquered by a lady. The motto thus, più per dolcezza che per forza.
You win him more by lenity than by force. And what's the third?
The third of Antioch, and his device a wreath of chivalry. The word me Pompei prevexit apex.
Desire of renown he doth devise, the which hath drawn him to this enterprise. What is the fourth?
A knight of Athens with a burning torch that's turned upside down. The word qui me alit may extinguit.
Which shows that beauty hath this power and will, which can as well inflame as it can kill. And who the fifth?
The fifth, a prince of Corinth, presents an hand environed with clouds, holding out gold that's by the touchstone tried. The motto thus, sic spectanda fides.
So, faith is to be looked into. And what's the sixth and last?
He seems to be a stranger, but his present is a withered branch that's only green at top. The motto, in hac spe vivo.
In that hope I live. From the dejected state wherein he is, he hopes by you his fortunes yet may flourish.
He well may be a stranger, for he comes unto an honoured triumph strangely furnished.
Opinion's but a fool that makes us scan the outward habit for the inward man. But stay, the knights are coming. We will withdraw into the gallery. Knights, to say your welcome were superfluous, since every worthen show commends itself. Prepare for mirth becomes a feast. You are princes and my guests.
But you, my knight and guest, to whom this wreath of victory I give, and crown you king of this day's happiness.
'Tis more by fortune, lady, than my merit.
Call it what you will, the day is yours. And here I hope is none that envies it.
My lord.
Come, Thaisa, queen of the feast, for daughter so you are. Here, take your place. The rest, as they deserve, their grace.
We are honoured much by good Simonides.
Indeed, my lord. Your presence glads our days. Honour we love, for who hates honour hates the gods above. Sit.
By Juno that is queen of marriage, I am amazed all viands that I eat do seem unsavoury, wishing him my meat. Sure, he's a gallant gentleman.
He's but a country gentleman. He's done no more than other knights have done. He's broken a staff or so let it pass.
To me he seems like diamond to glass.
Yon king's to me like to my father's picture, which tells me in what glory once he was. Had princes sit like stars about his throne, and he the sun for them to reverence. None that beheld him, but like lesser lights, did veil their crowns to his supremacy. Where now his son's a glowworm in the night, the which hath fire and darkness, none in light. Whereby I see that time's the king of men. He's both their parent, and he is their grave. He gives them what he will, not what they crave.
What? Are you merry, knights?
Who can be other in this royal presence?
Here, with a cup that's stored unto the brim, as you do love, full to your mistress' lips, we drink this health to you.
We thank your grace.
Yet pause a while. Yon knight doth sit too melancholy, as if the entertainment in our court had not a show might countervail his worth. Noted not you, Thaisa?
What is to me, my father?
Here, bear this standing bowl of wine to him.
Alas, my father, it befits not me unto a stranger knight to be so bold.
How? Do as I bid you, or you'll move me else.
Now, by the gods, he could not please me better.
And further, tell him we desire to know of whence he is, his name and parentage.
The king, my father, sir, has drunk to you,
I thank him.
wishing it so much blood unto your life.
I thank both him and you, and pledge him freely.
And further, he desires to know of you, of whence you are, your name and parentage.
A gentleman of Tyre. My name, Pericles. My education been in arts and arms, who, looking for adventures in the world, was by the rough seas reft of ships and men, and, after shipbreak, driven upon this shore.
He thanks your grace, names himself Pericles, a gentleman of Tyre, who only by misfortune of the seas, bereft of ships and men, cast on this shore.
Now, by the gods, I pity his mishaps. Thanks, gentlemen, to all. All have done well. But you, Pericles, the best. Knights, pages, conduct these knights into their several lodgings. Yours, sir, we have given order should be next to our own.
I am at your grace's pleasure.
Princes, it is too late to talk of love, and that's the mark I know you level at. Therefore, each one betake him to his rest. Tomorrow all for speeding do their best.
Good morrow to the good Simonides.
Knights, from my daughter this I let you know, that for this 12-month she'll not undertake a married life. Her reason to herself is only known, which from her none can get.
May we not have access to her, my lord?
Faith, by no means. It is impossible. She hath so strictly tied her to her chamber. 12 moons more she'll wear Diana's livery. This by the eye of Cynthia she had vowed, and on her virgin honour will not break it.
Loath to bid farewell.
We take our leaves.
Farewell.
Farewell,
Lord.
Farewell.
So, they are well dispatched. Now to my daughter's letter. She tells me here she'll wed the stranger knight, or never more to view nor day nor light. I like that well. Nay, how absolute she's in't, not minding whether I dislike or no. Mistress, 'tis well. I do commend your choice, and will no longer have it be delayed. Soft, here he comes. I must dissemble that in show I have determined on in heart.
All fortune to the good Simonides.
To you as much, sir. Let me ask you one thing. What do you think of my daughter?
A most virtuous princess.
And she is fair, too, is she not?
As a fair day in summer. Wondrous fair.
My daughter, sir, thinks very well of you.
I am unworthy.
She thinks not so. Peruse this writing, else.
What's here? A letter? That she loves the knight of Tyre? 'Tis the king's subtlety, to have my life.
Oh, seek not to entrap me, gracious lord. A stranger and distressed gentleman that never aimed so high to love your daughter, but bent all offices to honour her. Never did thought of mine levy offence, nor never did my actions yet commence a deed might gain her love, or your displeasure.
Thou liest like a traitor.
Traitor?
Aye, traitor, that thus disguised art stolen into my court with witchcraft of thy actions, to bewitch the yielding spirit of my tender child.
Who calls me traitor? Unless it be the king, even in his bosom I will write the lie.
No, by the gods, I do applaud his courage.
My actions are as noble as my blood, that never relished of a base descent. I came unto your court in search of honour, and not to be a rebel to your state. And he that otherwise accounts of me, this sword shall prove he's honour's enemy.
Thaisa! I shall prove otherwise, since both your practice and her consent therein is evident there, by my daughter's hand, as she can witness.
Father?
Then, as you are as virtuous as fair, by what you hope of heaven, or desire by your best wishes here i' the world fulfilled, resolve your angry father, if my tongue did ever solicit, or my hand subscribe to any syllable made love to you.
Why, sir, say if you had. Who takes offence at that would make me glad?
How? Minion? Are you so peremptory? I am glad on't. Is this a fit match for you? A straggling Theseus, born we know not where, one that hath neither blood nor merit for thee to hope for, or himself to challenge of thy perfections e'en the least allowance.
Suppose his birth were base, when that his life shows that he is not so, yet he have virtue, the very ground of all nobility, enough to make him noble. I entreat you to remember that I am in love, the power of which cannot be confined by the power of your will. Most royal father, what with my pen I have in secret written, with my tongue now I openly confirm, which is, I have no life but in his love, nor any being but enjoying of his worth.
Equals to equals, good to good is joined. This being not so, the bavern of your mind in rashness kindled must again be quenched, or purchase our displeasure. And for you, sir, first learn to know I banish you my court. And yet I scorn our rage should stoop so low. For your ambition, sir, I'll have your life.
For every drop of blood he sheds of yours, he'll draw another from his only child.
I'll tame you, yea, I'll bring you in subjection. Will you, not having my consent, bestow your love and your affections upon a stranger, who for aught I know, may be, nor can I think the contrary, as great in blood as I myself? Therefore hear you, mistress. Either frame your will to mine, and you, sir, hear you, either be ruled by me, or I shall make you man and wife. Nay, come, your hands, and lips must seal it too. And being joined, I'll thus your hopes destroy, and for your further grief, God give you joy. What, are you pleased?
Yes, if you love me, sir.
Even as my lifeblood that fosters it.
What, are you both agreed?
Yes.
If it please your majesty.
It pleaseth me so well that I will see you wed. Then with what haste you can, get you to bed.
Now sleep is slacked have the rout, no din but snores the house about, made louder by the offered breast of this most pompous marriage feast. High men have brought the bride to bed, whereby the loss of maidenhead a babe is moulded. At last from Tyre are letters brought, the 10 of these. Antiochus and his daughter dead, the men of Tyrus on the head of Helicanus would set on the crown of Tyre, but he will none. The mutiny there he hastes to appease, says to him, if King Pericles come not home in twice 6 moons, he, obedient to their dooms, will take the crown. The sum of this is brought hither to Pentapolis. Pericles must hence depart to Tyre, his queen with child makes her desire, which who shall cross, or long to go? Omit we all their dole and woe. Like corridor her nurse she takes, and so to sea. Their vessel shakes on Neptune's billow, half the flood have their keel cut, but fortune's mood varies again. The grizzled north discords such a tempest forth, that as a duck for life that dives, so up and down the poor ship drives. The lady shrieks, and well and near doth fall in travail with her fear, for what ensues in this fell storm shall for itself perform. I nil relate, action may conveniently the rest convey, which might not what by me is told. In your imagination hold this vendor ship, upon whose deck the sea-tossed Pericles appears to speck.
Thou God of this great vast, rebuke these surges which wash both heaven and hell. And thou, that hast upon the wind's command, bind them in brass, having called them from the deep. Oh, still thy deafening dreadful thunders, gently quench thy nimble sulphurous flashes. How, Lyconica, how does my queen? Thou stormest venomously. How wilt thou spit all thyself? The seaman's whistle is as a whisper in the ears of death, unheard. Lyconica! Now! Lyconica!
Here is a thing too young for such a place. If it had conceit would die, as I am like to do. Take in your arms this piece of your dead queen.
How? Lyconica?
Patience, good sir. Do not assist the storm. Here's all that is left living of your queen. A little daughter. Oh, for the sake of it, be manly and take comfort.
Oh, you gods! Why do you make us love your goodly gifts and snatch them straight away? We here below recall not what we give, and therein may use honor with you.
Patience, good sir, even for this charge.
Oh, mild be thy life, for a more blusterous birth had never babe. Quiet and gentle thy conditions, for thou art the rudeliest welcome to this world that ever was prince's child. Happy what follows. Thou hast as chiding a nativity as fire, air, water, earth, and heaven can make to herald thee from womb. Poor inch of nature, even at the first thy loss is more than can thy portage quit with all thou canst find here. Now the good gods throw their best eyes upon't.
What courage, sir! God save you!
Courage enough! I do not fear the flaw. It hath done to me its worst. Yet for the love of this poor infant, this fresh new seafarer, I would it would be quiet.
Sir, your queen must overboard. The sea works high, the wind is loud, and will not lie till the ship be cleared of the dead.
Thou
That's but your superstition.
Pardon us, sir. With us at sea, it hath been still observed, and we are strong in custom. Therefore, briefly, yield her, for she must overboard straight.
As you think meet. Most wretched queen.
Here she lies, sir.
A terrible childbed hast thou had, my dear. No light, no fire. The unfriendly elements forgot thee utterly. Nor have I time to give thee hallowed to thy grave, but straight must cast thee, scarcely coffined, in the ooze, where for a moment upon thy bones and iron-remaining lamps, the belching whale and humming water must overwhelm thy corpse, lying with simple shells. Oh, Corita, bring me spices, ink, and paper, my casket and my jewels. Lay the babe upon the pillow. Hide thee, whilst I say a priestly farewell to her. Suddenly, woman.
My lord.
Sir, we have a chest beneath the hatches caulked and bitumed ready.
I thank thee. Marina, say what coast is this?
We are close to Ephesus, and nearer Tarsus than Tyre.
Thither, gentle Mariner. Alter thy course from Tyre. When canst thou reach it?
By break of day, if the wind cease.
Oh, make for Tarsus. There I will visit Cleon, for the babe cannot hold out to Tyrus. There I'll leave it at careful nursing. Go thy ways, good Mariner. I'll bring the body presently.
Sir, even now, the sea tossed up upon our shore this chest. 'Tis off some wreck.
Set it down. Let's look upon it.
It is like a coffin, sir.
Whate'er it be, 'tis wondrous heavy. Did the sea cast it up?
I never saw so huge a billow, sir, or a more eager.
Wrench it open straight. If the sea's stomach be o'ercharged with gold, 'tis by good constraint of fortune that it belches upon us.
'Tis so, my lord.
How close 'tis caulked and bitumed. Soft. It smells most sweetly in my sense.
A delicate odor.
As air hit my nostril. So, up with it. Oh, you most potent gods. What's here? A corpse?
Most strange.
Shrouded in cloth of state and crowned, balmed and entreasured with full bags of spices. A passport, too. Apollo perfect me in the characters. Here I give to understand, if ere this coffin drives a land, I, King Pericles, have lost this queen worth all our mundane cost. Who finds her, give her burying. She was the daughter of a king. Besides this treasure, for a fee, the gods requite his charity. If thou livest, Pericles, thou hast the heart that even cracks for woe. This chanced tonight. Nay, certainly tonight, for look how fresh she looks. They were too rash that threw her in the sea. Make a fire within. Fetch hither all my boxes in my closet.
Sir.
Death may usurp on nature many hours, and yet the fire of life kindle again the oppressed spirits. I have heard of an Egyptian that had 9 hours lain dead, who was by good appliances recovered. This queen will live. Nature awakes. A warmth breathes out of her. She hath not been entranced above 5 hours. See, how she begins to blow into life's flower again.
She's alive?
Behold, her eyelids, cases to those heavenly jewels which Pericles hath lost, begin to part their fringes of bright gold. The diamonds of a most praised water that appear to make the world twice rich. Live, and make us weep to hear your fate, fair creature, rare as you seem to be.
Oh, dear Diana, where am I? Where is my lord? What world is this?
Is this not strange?
Lend me your hands to the next chamber bearer. Get linen. Now this matter must be looked to, for her relapse is mortal. Come, come.
Most honoured Cleon, I must needs be gone. My 12 months are expired, and Tyre stands in a litigious peace. You and your lady take from my heart all thankfulness. The gods make up the rest upon you.
Your strokes of fortune, though they hurt you mortally, yet glance full woundingly on us.
Oh, your sweet queen, that the strict fates had pleased that you had brought her here, that to have blessed mine eyes with her.
We cannot but obey the powers above us. Should I rage and roar as doth the sea she lies in? Yet the end must be as 'tis. My gentle babe Marina, whom, for she was born at sea, I have named so, here I charge your charity withal, and leave her, with her nurse Lycorida, the infant of your care, beseeching you to give her princely training, that she may be mannered as she is born.
Fear not, my lord, but think your grace that fed my country with your corn, for which the people's prayers still fall upon you, must in your child be thought on.
I believe you. Till she be married, madam, by bright Diana, whom we honour all, unscissored shall this hair of mine remain, though I show ailment. So, I take my leave. Good madam, make me blessed in your care in bringing up my child.
I've one myself, who shall not be more dear to my respect than yours, my lord.
Madam, my thanks and prayers.
We'll bring your grace in to the edge of the shore, and then give you up to the master Neptune and the gentlest winds of heaven.
I will embrace your offer. Come, dearest madam. Oh, no tears, Lycorida. No tears. Look to your little mistress, on whose grace you may depend hereafter. Come, my lord.
Madam, this letter and some certain jewels lay with you in your coffer, which are all at your command. Know you the character?
It is my lord's. That I was shipped at sea I well remember, even on my evening time, but whether there delivered, by the holy gods I cannot rightly say. But since King Pericles, my wedded lord, I ne'er shall see again, a vestal livery will I take me to, and never more have joy.
Madam, if this you purpose as you speak, Diana's temple is not distant far, where till your date expire you may abide. Moreover, if you please, a niece of mine shall there attend you.
My recompense is thanks, that's all. Yet my goodwill is great, though the gift small.
Thus time we waste, and long leagues make we short. Sail seas in cockles, have unwished but fought, making to take imagination from bourne to bourne, region to region. By you being pardoned, we commit no crime, to use one language in each several clime, where our scenes seem to live. I do beseech you to learn of me, who stand in the gaps to teach you. Imagine, Pericles arrived at Tyre, welcomed and settled to his own desire. His woeful queen we leave at Ephesus, unto Diana there a votaress. Now to Marina bent your mind, whom our fast-growing scene must find at Tarsus, and by Cleon trained in music's letters, who have gained of education all the grace, which makes her both the heart and place of general wonder. But our Cleon have one daughter, and a full-grown lass, even ripe for marriage right. This maid high Phileton, and it is said for certain in our story, she would ever with Marina be. So, with the dove of Paphos might the crow thy feathers white? Marina gets all praises, which are paid as debts and not as given. This so darks in Phileton all graceful marks, that Cleon's wife with envy rare, a present murder does prepare for good Marina, that her daughter might stand peerless by this slaughter. The sooner her vile thoughts to stead, like Corridor, our nurse is dead, and cursed Dionyza have the pregnant instrument of wrath press for this blow. The unborn event I do commend to your content, only I carried winged time, post on the lame feet of my rhyme, which never could I so convey, unless your thoughts went on my way. Dionyza does appear with Leonine, a murderer.
Thy oath, remember, thou hast sworn to do it. 'Tis but a blow, which never shall be known. Thou canst not do a thing in the world so soon to yield thee so much profit.
I will do it. But yet she is a goodly creature.
The fitter then the god should have her. There she is, weeping for her only Ness's death. Thou art resolved.
I am resolved.
I will rob Tellus of her weed, to strew thy green with flowers. The yellows, blues, the purple violets and marigolds shall as a carpet hang upon thy grave while summer days doth last. Ay me, poor maid, born in a tempest when my mother died. This world to me is but a ceaseless storm, whirring me from my friends.
Oh, now, Marina, why do you keep alone? Do not consume your blood with sorrowing. Have you a ness of me? Come. Or the sea march walk with Leonine. The air is piercing there, and quick. It sharps the stomach. Come, Leonine, take her by the arm. Walk with her.
No, I pray you, I'll not deprive you of your servant.
Go, I pray you. Walk, and be cheerful once again. Resume that excellent complexion which did still the eyes of young and old. Care not for me. I can go home alone.
Well, I will go, but truly I have no desire to it.
Nay, I know 'tis good for you. Leonine, at the least, remember what I have said.
I warrant you, madame.
I'll leave you, my sweet lady, for a while. Pray you walk softly. Do not hit your blood. What? I must have a care of you.
Come, say your prayers.
What mean you?
If you require a little space for prayer, I grant it. Pray, but be not tedious, for the gods are quick of ear, and I am sworn to do my work with haste.
Why would you kill me?
To satisfy my lady.
Why would she have me killed? Now, as I can remember, by my troth, I never did her hurt in all my life. I never spake bad word, nor did ill turn to any living creature. Believe me, La, I never killed a mouse nor hurt a fly. I trod upon a worm against my will, but I wept for it. How have I offended wherein my death might yield her any profit, or my life imply her any danger?
My commission is not to reason of the deed, but do it.
You will not do it for all the world, I hope. You are well favoured, and your looks foreshow you have a gentle heart. I saw you lately when you caught hurt in parting two that fought. Good sooth, it showed well in you. Do so now. Your lady seeks my life. Come you between and save poor me, the weaker.
I am sworn and will dispatch.
Hold, villain!
A prize! A prize! Half barred, mates, half barred! Come, let's have her aboard suddenly!
These roguing thieves serve the great pirate Valdez, and they have seized Marina. Let her go. There's no hope she'll return. I'll swear she's dead and thrown into the sea, but I'll see further. Perhaps they will but please themselves upon her, not carry her aboard. If she remain, whom they have ravished must by me be slain.
Bolt, search the market narrowly. Mytilene is full of gallants. We lost too much money this month by being too wenchless.
Sure.
We were never so much out of creatures. We have but poor free, and they can do no more than they can do, and they, with continual action, are even as good as rotten.
Therefore, let's have fresh ones, whate'er we pay for it. If there be not a conscience to be used in every trade, we shall never prosper.
They'll say it's true.
Oh, but here comes Bolt, with pirate gentlemen.
Come your ways, my masters. You say she's a virgin?
Oh, sir, we doubted not.
Master, I've gone through for this piece, you see. If you like her, so. If not, I've lost my earnest.
What, has she any qualities, Bolt?
She has a good face, speaks well, and has excellent good clothes. There's no farther necessity of qualities can make her be refused.
What's her price, Bolt?
Well, I cannot be bated one doit of 1,000 pieces.
Wife, take her in, instruct her what she has to do, that she may not be roaring her entertainment. Well, follow me, my masters. You shall have your money presently.
Bolt, take you the marks of her, the colour of her hair, complexion, height, her age, with warrant of her virginity, and cry, he that will give most shall have her first. Such a maidenhead were no cheap thing if men were as they have been. Oh, get this done as I command you.
Performance shall follow.
Alack that Leonine was so slack, so slow. He should have struck, not spoke. Or that these pirates, not enough barbarous, had but all board thrown me for to seek my mother.
Why lament you, pretty one?
That I am pretty.
Oh, come. The gods have done their part in you.
I accuse them not.
You are light into my hands, where you are like to live.
No!
Yes, indeed shall you, and taste gentlemen of all fashions. You shall fare well. You shall have the difference of all complexions. What? Do you stop your ears?
Are you a woman?
What would you have me be, and I be not a woman?
An honest woman, or not a woman?
Marry wit the gosling. I think I shall have something to do with you. Come, you're a young, foolish sapling, and must be bowed as I would have you.
The gods defend me.
Oh, if it please the gods to defend you by men, then men must comfort you. Men must feed you. Men must stir you up. Oh, Bolt's returned. Now, sir, hast thou cried her through the market?
I have cried her almost to the number of her hairs. I've drawn her picture with my voice.
Pray you, girl, come here for a while. You have fortunes coming upon you. Mark me, you must seem to do that fearfully, which you commit willingly, to despise profit where you have most gain.
I understand you not.
Oh, mistress, these blushes of hers must be quenched with some present practice.
I'll say it's true, i' faith. So they must. For your bride goes to that with shame, which is her way to go with warrant.
Faith, some do and some do not. But mistress, if I have bargained for the joint...
Thou mayest cut a morsel off the spit.
I may so.
Who should deny? Come, young one, I like the manner of your garments well.
Aye, by my faith, they shall not be changed yet.
Bolt, spend now that in the town, report what a sojourner we have. You'll lose nothing by custom. When nature framed this piece, she meant thee a good turn. Therefore say what a paragon she is, and now reaps the harvest out of thine own setting forth.
I warrant you, mistress, thunder shall not so awake the beds of eels as my giving out her beauty stirs up the lewdly inclined. I'll bring home some tonight.
Well, come your ways, follow me.
If fires be hot, knives sharp, or waters deep, untied I still my virgin knot will keep. Diana, aid my purpose.
What have we to do with Diana? Pray you, will you go with me?
Oh, Dionyza, such a piece of slaughter the sun and moon never looked upon.
Why are you foolish? Can it be undone?
Were I chief lord of all the spacious world, I'd give it to undo the deed. A lady much less in blood than virtue, yet a princess to equal any single crown on the earth in the justice and compare. O villain Leonine, whom thou hast poisoned too, if thou hadst drunk to him, t'had been a kindness becoming well thy fat. What canst thou say when noble Pericles shall demand his child?
That she is dead. Nesses are not the fates. To foster is not ever to preserve. She died at night. I'll say so. Who can cross it? Unless you play the pious innocent and for an honest attribute cry out, she died by foul play.
Oh, go to. Well, well. Of all the faults beneath the heavens, the gods do like this worse.
Be it so then. Yet none does know but you how she came to be dead. Nor none can know, Leonine being gone. She did disdain my child. I stood between her and her fortunes. None would look on her but cast their gazes on Marina's face, whilst ours was bletted at and held a mulking not worth the time of day. It pierced me through. And though you call my course unnatural, you, not your child, were loving, yet I find it greets me as an enterprise of kindness performed to your sole daughter.
Heavens forgive it!
And as for Pericles, what should he say? We wept after her hairs, and yet we mourn. Her monument is almost finished, and her epitaphs in glittering gold characters express a general praise to her, and care in us, at whose expense 'tis done.
Thou art like a harpy, which to betray, dost with thine angel's face seize with thine eagle's talons.
Year, like one that superstitiously do swear to the gods that winter kills the flies. But yet, I know you'll do as I advise.
Pericles is now again fording the wayward seas, attended on by many a lord and knight. To see his daughter, all his life's delight, old Helicanus goes along. Where sailing ships and bounteous winds have brought the king to Tarsus, think his pilot fought. So with his steerage shall your thoughts go on, to fetch his daughter home who first is gone. Now please you wit, the epitaph for Marina writ by wicked Dionyza. The fairest, chastest, and most best lies here, who withered in her spring of year, in nature's garden, for by growth for bud, she was the chiefest flower, she was good. No visor does become black villainy, so well as soft and tender flattery. And Pericles, in sorrow all devoured, with sighs shot through, and biggest tears are showered, leaves Tarsus, and again embarks. He swears never to wash his face nor cut his hairs. He puts on sackcloth and to sea. He bears a tempest which his mortal vessel tears, and yet he rides it out. Let Pericles believe his daughter's dead, and bear his courses to be ordered by Lady Fortune, while our scene must play his daughter's woe, and heavy well a day in her unholy service. Patience then, and think you now are all in Italy.
Did you ever hear the like?
No, nor never shall do in such a place as this, she being once gone.
But to have divinity preached there, did you ever dream of such a thing?
No, no. Come, I am for no more bawdy houses. Shall's go hear the Vestals sing?
I'll do anything now that is virtuous, but I'm out of the road of rotting forever.
Well, I'd rather than twice the worth of her she'd now come here.
Fie upon her. We must either get her ravished or be rid of her. When she should do for clients her fitment and do me the kindness of our profession, she has me her quirks, her reasons, her master reasons, her prayers, her knees. That she would make a Puritan of the devil if he should cheapen a kiss of her.
Faith, I must ravish her, or she'll defurnish us of all our cavalry and make us swear as priests.
Oh, here comes the Lord Lysimachus, disguised.
We should have both lord and loon if the peevish baggage would but give away to customers.
How now? How a dozen of virginities?
We have here one, sir, if she would, but there never came her like in Mitylene.
If she do the deed of darkness, thou wouldst say?
Your honour knows what 'tis to say well enough.
Well, call forth, call forth.
Marina! Here comes that which grows to the stalk, never plucked yet, I can assure you. Is she not a fair creature?
Faith, she would serve after a long voyage at sea. Well, here's for you. Leave us.
I beseech your honour, give me leave, a word, and I'll have done presently.
I beseech you, do.
First, I would have you note, this is an honourable man.
I desire to find him so, that I may honourably know him.
Next, he's the governor of this country, and a man whom I am bound to.
If he govern the country, you are bound to him indeed. But how honourable he is in that, I know not.
Pray you, without any more virginal fencing, will you use him kindly? He will line your apron with gold.
What he will do graciously, I will thankfully receive.
Are you done?
Come, Bolt, we will leave his honour and hers together.
Now, pretty one, how long have you been at this trade?
What trade, sir?
Why, I cannot name it, but I shall offend.
I cannot be offended with my trade. Please you to name it.
How long have you been a member of this profession?
Ever since I can remember.
Did you go to it so young? Were you a gamester at 5 or at 7?
Earlier too, sir, if now I be one.
Why, the house you dwell in proclaims you to be a creature of sail.
Do you know this house to be a place of such resort, and will come into it? I hear say you're of honourable parts, and are the governor of this place.
Oh. You've heard something of my power, and so stand off aloof for a more serious wooing. But, pretty one, I do protest to thee, I am the governor, whose authority can wink at blemishes, or on faults look friendly, or my displeasure punish at my pleasure, from which displeasure all thy beauty shall not privilege thee, nor my affection which hath drawn me to this place abate, if thou with further lingering withstand me. Come, bring me to some private place, come.
My lord, I entreat you but to hear me. If, as you say, you are the governor, let not authority which teaches you to govern others be the means to make you misgovern much yourself. If you were born to honour, show it now. If put upon you, make the judgment good that thought you worthy of it.
How's this? Some more. Be sage.
What reasons in your justice, who hath power over all, to undo any? My life is yet unspotted, my chastity unstained even in thought. Then if your violence deface this building, the workmanship of heaven made up for good and not for exercise of sin's intemperance, you kill your honour, abuse your justice, and impoverish me.
Why, this house wherein thou livest is a receptacle of all men's sins and nurse of wickedness. How canst thou then be otherwise than naught that livest in it?
My yet good lord, if there be fire before me, must I fly there straight and burn myself? Oh, my good lord, kill me, but not deflower me. Punish me how you please, but spare my chastity. And since 'tis all the dowry that the gods have given and men have left me, do not take it from me. Make me your servant. I willingly obey you. Make me your bondmaid. I'll account it freedom. Let me be the worst that is called vile, so I may still live honest. I am content. Or if you think too blessed a happiness to have me stay so, let me even now in this minute, die, and I'll account my death more happy far than was my birth.
Now surely this is virtue's image, nay, virtue herself sent down from heaven a while to reign on earth and teach us what we should be. I hither came with thoughts intemperate, foul, and deformed, the which thy pains so well hath laved that they are now white. I came here meaning but to pay the price, a piece of gold for thy virginity. Here's 20 to relieve thine honesty. Persever still in that clear way thou goest, and the gods strengthen thee.
The good gods preserve you.
Fare thee well. Thou art a piece of virtue, the best wrought up that ever nature made, and I doubt not thy training hath been noble. A curse upon him! Die he like a thief that robs thee of thine honour. Hold, there's more gold. If thou dost hear from me, it shall be for thy good.
How's this? Oh, we must take another course with you. If your peevish chastity, which is not worth a breakfast in the cheapest country under the cope, shall undo a whole household, well, let me be gelded like a spaniel. Come your ways.
Whither would you have me?
Well, I must have your maidenhead taken off, or the common executioner shall do it. We'll have no more gentlemen driven away. Come your ways, I say.
Now, what's the matter?
Worse and worse, mistress. She has here spoken holy words to the Lord Lysimachus.
Oh, abominable!
She makes her profession, as it were, to stink before the face of the gods.
Marry Anna up forever.
The nobleman would have dealt with her like a nobleman, and she sent him away cold as a snowball, saying his prayers too.
Bolt, take her away, use her at thy pleasure, crack the glass of her virginity, and make the rest malleable.
And if she were a thornier piece of ground than she is, she shall be ploughed.
Hark, you gods! Oh, she conjures! Away with her! Would she had never come within my doors!
Come, mistress, come your ways with me.
Whither wilt thou have me?
To take from you the jewel you hold so dear.
Prithee, tell me one thing first.
Come now, your one thing.
What canst thou wish thine enemy to be?
Why, I could wish him to be my master, or rather my mistress.
Neither of these can be so bad as thou art, since they do better thee in their command. Thou hold'st a place for which the pained'st fiend of hell would not in reputation change. Thou damned doorkeeper to every coistrel that comes inquiring for his tib. To the choleric fisting of every rogue, thy ear is liable. Thy food is such as hath been belched on by infected lungs.
What would you have me do? Go to the wars, eh, would you? Where a man may serve 7 years for the loss of a leg, and have not money enough in the end to buy him a wooden one?
Do anything but this thou dost. Empty old receptacles or common sewers of filth. Serve by indenture to the public hangman. Any of these ways are better yet than this. For what thou professest, a baboon, could he speak, would own a name too dear. Here's gold for thee. If that thy master would make gain by me, proclaim that I can sing, weave, sew, and dance, with other virtues which I'll keep from boast, and I will undertake all these to teach. I doubt not but this populous city will yield many scholars.
But can you teach all this you speak of?
Prove that I cannot. Take me home again, and prostitute me to the basest groom that doth frequent your house.
Oh, well, I will see what I can do for thee. If I can place thee, I will.
But amongst honest women.
Faith, my acquaintance lies little amongst them. But since my master and mistress have bought you, there's no going but by their consent. Therefore, I will make them acquainted with your purpose, and I doubt not but I shall find them tractable enough. Come, I'll do for thee what I can. Come your ways.
Marina thus the brothel scapes and chances unto a honest house, our story says, where pupils lacks she none of noble race, who pour their bounty on her, and her gain she gives the cursed board. Here we her place, and to her father turn we our thoughts again, where we left him on the sea. Waves there him tossed, whence driven to ford the winds, he is arrived here, where his daughter dwells, on this coast, suppose him now at anchor. The city strives, God Neptune's annual feast to keep, from whence Lysimachus our Tyrian ship espies. His banners sable, trimmed with rich expense, and to him in his barge we further hies. In your supposing once more put your sight, of heavy Pericles think this the bark, where what is done in action, more if might shall be discovered. Please, you sit and hark.
Lord Helicanus, there is a barge put off from Mitylene. In it lies Lysimachus, the governor, who craves to come aboard. What is your will?
That he have his.
Hail, reverend sir. The gods preserve you.
And you, sir, to outlive the age I am, and die as I would do.
You wish me well. I am the governor of Mytilene. Being on shore, honouring of Neptune's triumphs, seeing this goodly vessel ride before us, I made to it to know of whence you are.
Our vessel is of Tyre, in it our king, a man who for this 3 months hath not spoken to anyone, nor taken sustenance, but to prorogue his grief.
Upon what ground grew his distemperature?
Oh, 'twould be too tedious to tell it over. But the main grief springs from the precious loss of a beloved daughter and a wife. He will not speak to any.
Sir, we have a maid in Mytilene I dost wager would win some words of him. She, in all happy, as the fairest of all among her fellow maids, dwells now with the leafy shelter that abuts against the island's side. Go, fetch her hither.
Sir.
May we not see him?
See him, sir, you may, but bootless is your sight.
Let me yet obtain my wish.
Behold him. This was a goodly person, till the disaster of one mortal night drove him to this.
Sir King, all hail. Hail, royal sir.
It is in vain. He will not speak to you. Yet nothing we'll omit that bears recovery's name.
Let me entreat to know at large the cause of your king's sorrow.
Sit, sir. I will recount it. Oh, but see, I am prevented.
Oh, here's the lady that I sent for. Welcome, fair one.
Thank you, my lord.
Is not a goodly presence?
She's a gallant lady.
She's such a one that were I well assured it came of gentle kind or noble stock, I'd wish no better choice, and think me rarely wed. Fair one, all goodness that consists in bounty expect even here, where is a kingly patient. If that thy prosperous and artificial feet can draw him but to answer thee in aught, thy sacred physic shall receive such pay as thy desires can wish.
Sir, I will use my utmost skill in his recure, provided that none but I be suffered to come near him.
We shall leave you.
Hail, sir. My lord. Lend ear. I am a maid, my lord, that ne'er before invited eyes, but have been gazed on like a comet. She speaks, my lord, that maybe hath endured a grief might equal yours, if both were justly weighed. Though wayward fortune did malign my state, my derivation was from ancestors who stood equivalent with mighty kings. But time hath rooted out my parentage, and to the world in awkward casualties bound me in servitude. I will desist, but there is something glows upon my cheek, and whispers in mine ear, stay till he speak.
My fortunes, parentage, good parentage, to equal mine. Was it not thus? What say you?
I said if you did know my parentage, my lord, you would not do me violence.
I do think so. Pray you, turn your eyes upon me. You're like something that... What countrywoman? Here of these shores?
No, nor of any shores. Yet I was mortally brought forth, and am no other than I appear.
I am great with woe, and shall deliver weeping. My dearest wife was like this maid, and such a one my daughter might have been. My queen's square brows, her stature to an inch, as wand-like straight as silver-voiced, her eyes as jewel-like, and cased as richly in pace another Juno, who starves the ears she feeds and makes them hungry, the more she gives them speech. Where do you live?
Where I am but a stranger. From the deck you may discern the place.
Where were you bred, and how achieved you these endowments which you make more rich to owe?
If I should tell my history, it would seem like lies, disdained in the reporting.
Prithee, speak. falseness cannot come from thee. For thou look'st modest as justice, and thou seemst a palace for the crowned truth to dwell in. I will believe thee, and make my senses credit thy relation to points that seem impossible. Thou show'st like one I loved indeed. What were thy friends? Didst thou not say that thou camest from good descending?
So indeed I did.
Report thy parentage. I think thou saidst thou hast been tossed from wrong to injury, and that thou thought'st thy griefs might equal mine, if both were opened?
Some such thing I said, and said no more but what my circumstance did warrant me was likely.
What tell thy story? If thine considered proved the 1,000th part of my endurance, thou art a man, and I have suffered like a girl. Yet thou dost look like patience, gazing on kings' graves, and smiling extremity out of act. What were thy friends? How lost thou them? And thy name, my most kind virgin? Recount, I do beseech thee. Come, sit by me.
My name is Marina.
Oh, I am mocked, and thou by some insensate god sent hither to make the world to laugh at me.
Patience, good sir, or here I'll cease.
Nay, I'll be patient. Thou little know'st how thou dost startle me to call thyself Marina.
The name was given me by one that had some power. My father and a king.
How? A king's daughter? And called Marina?
You said you would believe me. But not to be a troubler of your peace, I will end here.
But are you flesh and blood? Have your working pulse and are no fairy? Motion as well? No, speak on. Where were you born? And wherefore called Marina?
Called Marina, for I was born at sea.
At sea? What mother?
My mother was the daughter of a king, who died when I was born, as my good nurse Lycorida hath oft recounted weeping.
Oh, stop there a little. This is the rarest dream that ere dull sleep did mock sad fools withal. This cannot be my daughter buried. Well, where were you bred? I'll hear you more to the bottom of your story and never interrupt you.
You'll scarce believe me. To a best I did give o'er.
I will believe you by the syllable of what you deliver. Yet give me leave, how came you in these parts? Where were you bred?
The king my father did in Tarsus leave me, till cruel Cleon with his wicked wife did seek to murder me, and wooed a villain to attempt the deed, who having drawn to do it, a crew of pirates came and rescued me. To Mytilene they brought me. But good sir, what will you of me? Why do you weep? It may be you think me an impostor. No, good faith, I am the daughter to King Pericles, if good King Pericles be.
Oh, Helicanus!
Calls my lord!
Thou art a grave and noble counsellor, most wise and general. Tell me, if thou canst, what this maid is, or what is like to be that thus hath made me weep.
I know not, but here's the regent, sir, of Mytilene, speaks nobly of her.
She would never tell her parentage. Being demanded that, she would sit still and weep.
Oh, Helicanus, strike me, honoured sir, give me a gash, put me to present pain, lest this great sea of joys rushing upon me o'erbear the shores of my mortality and drown me with their sweetness. Oh, Marina, come hither, thou that begett'st him that did thee beget, thou that wast born at sea, buried at Tarsus, and found at sea again. Oh, Helicanus, down on thy knees. Thank the holy gods as loud as thunder threatens us. This is Marina. What was thy mother's name, Marina? Tell me but that, for truth can never be confirmed enough, though doubts did ever sleep.
First, sir, I pray, what is your title?
I am Pericles of Tyre. But tell me now my drowned queen's name. As in the rest thou hast been godlike perfect, so prove but true in that thou art my daughter, the heir of kingdoms, and another life to Pericles thy father.
Is it no more to be your daughter than to say my mother's name?
Thaisa was my mother, who did end the minute I began.
Now, blessing on thee rise. Thou art my child. Mine own Helicanus, not dead at Tarsus, as she should have been by savage Cleon. She shall tell thee all, when thou shalt kneel and justify in knowledge she is thy very princess. Who is this?
Sir, 'tis the governor of Mytilene, who, hearing of your melancholy state, did come to see you.
I embrace you, sir. Oh, heavens, bless my girl. Hark! Oh, music. Tell Helicanus, my Marina. Tell him, or point by point, for yet he seems to doubt how sure you are my daughter. Oh, music.
My lord, I hear none.
None? There's the music of the spheres. List, my Marina.
It is not good to cross him. Give him way.
Rare sound. Do you not hear? Music, my lord. I hear. Most heavenly music. It nips me unto listening. And thick slumber hangs upon mine eyelids. Let me rest.
A pillow for his head. Companion friends, if this but answer to my just belief, I'll well remember you. So, leave him all.
Celestial Diane, goddess Argentine.
My temple stands in Ephesus. Hie thee thither, and do upon mine altar sacrifice. There, where my maiden priests are met together, at large discourse thy fortunes in this wise. With a full voice before the people all, reveal how thou at sea didst lose thy wife. To mourn thy crosses with thy daughters, call, and give them repetition to the life. Perform my bidding, or thou livest in woe. Do it, and rest happy by my silver bow. Awake, and tell thy dream.
I will obey thee.
Helicanus?
Sir?
My purpose was for Tarsus, there to strike the inhospitable Cleon, but I am for other service first. Toward Ephesus turn our blueing sails.
Sir!
Now, eftsoons, I'll tell thee why. Shall we refresh us, sir, upon your shore, and give you gold for such provision as our intents will need?
With all my heart, sir. And when you come ashore, I have a suit.
You shall prevail, were it to woo my daughter, for it seems you have been noble towards her.
Sir, lend me your arm.
Come, my Marina.
Now our sands are almost run, more a little, and then dumb. This my last boon give me, for such kindness must relieve me, that you aptly will suppose what pageantry, what feats, what shows, what minstrelsy and pretty din the regent made in Mytilene to greet the king. So well he thrived that he is promised to be wife to fair Marina, but in no wise till he have done his sacrifice as Diane bade. Thereto, being bound, the interim pray you all confound. In feathered briefness sails are filled, and wishes fall out as they're willed. At Ephesus the temple see Thaisa in vestal livery. Enters in King Pericles, who falls humbly to his knees. That he can hither come so soon is by your fancy's thankful doom.
Hail, Diane! To perform thy just command, I here confess myself the king of Tyre, who, frightened from my country, did espouse the fair Thaisa at Pentapolis. At sea, in childbed, died she, but brought forth a maid child called Marina, who, O goddess, wears yet thy silver livery. She at Tarsus was nursed with Cleon, who at 14 years he sought to murder. But her better stars bore her to Mytilene, gainst whose shore riding her fortunes brought the maid aboard our bark, where by her own most clear remembrance she made known herself my daughter.
Voice and favour. You are, O royal Pericles! Ah!
What means the priestess? She dies. Help, gentlemen.
Noble sir, if you have told Diana's altar true, this is your wife.
Reverend Apira, no. I threw her overboard with these same arms.
Upon this coast, I warrant you.
'Tis most certain.
Look to the lady. Oh, she's but overjoyed. Early one blustering morn, this lady was thrown upon this shore. I oped the coffin, found there rich jewels, recovered her, and placed her here in Diana's temple.
May we see them?
Great sir, they shall be brought you at my house, whither I invite you. Look! Thaisa is recovered.
Let me look upon him. If he be none of mine, my sanctity will to my sense bend no licentious ear, but curb it, spite of seeing. Oh, my lord, are you not Pericles? Like him you spake, like him you are. Did you not name a tempest, a birth and death?
The voice of dead Thaisa.
That Thaisa am I, supposed dead and drowned.
Immortal Diane, I thank thee.
Now I know you better. When we with tears parted Pentapolis, the king, my father, gave you such a ring.
This, no more, you gods. Your present kindness makes my past misery sports. You shall do well that on the touching of her lips I may melt and no more be seen. Oh, come, be buried a second time within these arms.
My heart leaps to be gone into my mother's bosom.
Look who kneels here. Flesh of thy flesh, Thaisa. Thy burden at the sea, and called Marina, for she was yielded there.
Blessed and mine own.
Hail, madam, and my queen.
I know you not.
Well, you have heard me say, when I did fly from Tyre, I left behind an ancient substitute. Can you remember what I called the man? I have named him off.
'Twas Helicanus, then.
Still confirmation. Embrace him, dear Thaisa. This is he. Now, do I long to hear how you were found, how possibly preserved, and who to thank besides the gods for this great miracle?
Lord Cerimon, my lord, this is the man through whom the gods have shown their power that can from first to last resolve you.
Reverend sir, the gods can have no mortal officer more like a god than you. Will you deliver how this dead queen relives?
I will, my lord. Beseech you, first go with me to my house, where shall be shown you all was found with her, and told how in this temple she came placed, no needful thing omitted.
Pure Diane, I bless thee for thy vision, and will offer nightly oblations to thee.
Thaisa, this prince, the fair betrothed of your daughter, shall marry her at Pentapolis. And now, Marina, this ornament makes me look dismal while I clip to form. And what this 14 years no razor touched, to grace thy marriage day, I'll beautify.
Lord Cerimon hath letters of good credit, sir, from Pentapolis. My father's dead.
Heaven make a star of him. Yet there, my queen, we'll celebrate their nuptials, and ourselves will in that kingdom spend our following days. Our son and daughter shall in Tyre reign. Lord Cerimon, we do our longing stay to hear the rest untold. Sir,
leads the way.
In Antiochus and his daughter you have heard of monstrous lust, the due and just reward. For wicked Cleon and his wife, when fame had spread their cursed deed to the honoured name of Pericles, to rage did the city turn, that him and his they in his palace spurn. The gods for murder seem so content to punish that, although not done, but meant. In Helicanus may you well descry a figure of truth, of faith, of loyalty. In Reverend Cerimon there well appears the worth that learned charity I wears. In Pericles, his queen and daughter seen, although assailed with fortune fierce and keen, virtue preserved from fell destruction's blast, led on by heaven, and crowned with joy at last. So, on your patience evermore attending, new joy wait on you. Here our play has ending.
That was Pericles by William Shakespeare. Pericles was played by Tom Mannion, Gower by Benjamin Zephaniah, Marina by Helen Longworth, and Thaisa by Katherine Igoe. Lysimachus was played by Eva Meredith, Helicanus by Sean Scanlan, Antiochus and Cerimon by Rawi, and Simonides by Lorcan Cranitch. The Master Fisherman was played by Dermot Crowley, the Fisherman by Paul Dinnen, Dionyza by Adjua Ando, and Cleon by Peter Gevesser. The Board and La Corrida were played by Aisha Antoine, Philemon and Bolt by Nick Sace, Leonine by Delroy Brown, and The Goddess Diana by Sean Phillips. And this production of Pericles was directed by Gaynor MacFarlane.